And we're back talking about gender and race-related ideology in schools, chatting with Barbara Kay, longtime columnist with the National Post, and Kate Johnson, who's with Fair Canada. When it comes to these topics, there's obviously some Canadians who are going to agree with critical race theory. They're going to agree with some of the content that's being taught right now related to gender. Obviously, you've got people on the other side. What are some of the solutions? Is there a way that maybe both sides can be appeased? Kate, do you have any solutions if you're the all-powerful Minister of Education? How do you deal with this?
Well, my husband served in Rwanda after the genocide there. And one of the major factors that led up to the Rwandan genocide was constant focus on ethnicity and reminding kids about their group identity and sort of historical responsibility for the acts of their ancestors. So, if we really want a functioning, safe democracy in Canada, we need to learn from that and stop having uh, affinity groups based on ethnicity and color in school. They should be based on common interests, on things children enjoy doing together, and on our common humanity. In terms of the gender identity piece, I feel like we already have the solution in front of us. Parents who appreciate gender ideology and want to inculcate their children in that can do that almost as Barbara said, as a religious freedom initiative, that they're free to do that. But the school should be doing two things, both that they're already legally obligated to do. One is to respect the Psychotherapy Act of Ontario, which controls psychotherapy and means that the school should not be doing social transition as a psychotherapeutic intervention without the informed consent of that child's guardian. And the other is that every school has a duty to report. So if they honestly think that a child is at risk because of their gender identity, the thing to do is to call the appropriate officials and inform the parents that has happened, rather than to create a festering wound between the parents and the children by keeping the secret.
And what about, Barbara, from your perspective? If you're the Minister of Education tomorrow, how do you deal with these situations?
Well, I'm inclined to say fire all the school boards. Stop with this top-down, uh, uh, ideology that is simply infiltrating almost every hour of every school day. That has to end. As Kate says, schools are in business to teach objective knowledge to the children. They are not there as social missionaries. They're not there to teach social justice. And in order for parents to have more control over what's look, they're working for families. They're not, where parents are not working for them. They're supposed to be working for the families and for the children. Parents need to have more entrenched respect and rights, and we need something like a parents' rights act or a parents' rights manifesto or whatever, and they would include the rights that Kate outlined, but also maybe even a parents' council with the revolving even by lottery, just to have parents with all kinds of opinions to come together regularly to have discussions on what they want and for their opinions to carry weight with the school board. The school board must consider this parents' council's opinions and the conclusions that they come to. We have seen recently, especially in areas where there's a high density of Muslim parents, they are not happy with this gender, but they are not also don't feel constrained to be polite to the point that they just do nothing. So I think we're seeing a pushback that is healthy. We saw in Nova Scotia, Premier Higgs, who has decided that parents need to have expanded rights, and that's the way to go. I think parents have to consolidate, push back respectfully and legally, but with force. They can do that if they band together, and FAIR is helping parents do exactly that. So I applaud FAIR's initiative and hope they have success.
All right. Well, listen, thank you for your time today. I appreciate hearing your thoughts on these important topics.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.